Okay, Eric, what made you choose to want to work with myself with Paradigm?
Well, I watched you working with people here at Southside, and even though my gym my personal training gym is in with a physical therapy clinic upstairs, and I've used the chiropractors and PTs, I just saw that you are an athlete. You know what it's about, lifting heavy, and just that different level. Being a former athlete and being somebody that wants to work out hard later into life. You want somebody that has that same mindset as a physical therapist. And a lot of physical therapists, I think, in my opinion, are real cautious. And I wanted somebody that was going to push me and get to my goal, which was pretty aggressive.
And what led you up to this point here today?
Well, this injury I had started when I was a college football player. I partially tore my rotator cuff and played a season on a bad rotator, and it got rehabbed. And then, I've lifted, and I've been a personal trainer for 31 years. More than 31 years I've lifted. But I'm 53 now, and things catch up with you, and I get to the point where, I've had a lot of exposure to physical therapy type training, a lot of advanced certifications, but when you're stuck, and that if you're a coach, you need coaches, and I needed somebody to get me past that plateau. I was like, I can keep going like this, but good enough is not a phrase in my vocabulary, and I knew there was somebody else that I trusted after watching you work with people in here. I'm like, I think she might be the one to get me past that plateau, and sure enough, working with you, it just got me to take a whole different look at it differently and attack it differently than I was doing. And it was really cool to see me break through the plateau, and I learned something. And now, for me being a personal trainer, every time I work with somebody like a physical therapist like you, it helps me do a better job with the clients I work with.
What has been your favorite key progress or milestone that you've noticed since starting working with me?
Well, it's always easy to set a strength goal, but I set a mobility goal, and having the right shoulder frozen 3 years ago, I thought, what's a hard exercise that would prove that my mobility's back or it's getting better? And I set an aggressive goal, the Turkish get up on my right side. And I think the best thing is you did a really good assessment, and you started me down that path and that progression, in small pieces. And there are things I could easily put into my normal workouts because I didn't want to totally go all PT. But these were things I could do, 5-6 days a week consistently, and I could see, every time we met, there was a little more progress, and you turned the dial up just right. And by the end, I actually did it on vacation in this crappy gym. It was cool to see that goal realized. I could just feel it getting better, and you knew just the right amount of progression to give me, not to push me too hard, but not to be too easy on me.